So, welcome to Beauty of Colors podcast. Christopher, it's great to have you on the show.
Okay, thank you for having me. Good morning.
You're very welcome. So, tell the listeners about you and what drove you into writing your book.
Okay, so brief story. When I was growing up, I was always an athlete. I came very close to playing Major League Baseball. Scouted out by the Cincinnati Reds. Unfortunately, I didn't make it, but I always was in fitness. So throughout my years, I always mentored people, coaching them along. I coached a baseball team for 3 years. We won 3 championships. So I was always on a level of a leadership role. Um, Also in my business, which was construction and organizing unions in New York, I always had a leadership position. I guess I was born with it. And then throughout my years, I always, was helping people out. And, I wrote 3 books. My third book's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My first book, actually, Belonging to Yourself, is a memoir about my whole life. But this particular book is about how to raise your testosterone in 7 simple steps. So in my early 50s, to get onto the testosterone program here, in my early 50s, about 52 years old, I felt like my body was slowing down. Like I said, I was always in great shape. So, talking to a couple of guys in the gym, and then one guy said, "Why don't you try this?" which was testosterone cyprinate. So I did go on PEDs without a doctor's consent. So I was injecting testosterone in my body, to elevate me, my performance, mental health, all the things that testosterone is good for a man. So, and it also raised my level up in the gym, incredibly, by the way. They call it the liquid gold. If anybody doesn't know much about testosterone, when you inject it, you feel amazing. It's incredible. So I went on 2 cycles. A cycle is 8 weeks, each. I went on 2 cycles a year, and I was bench pressing like crazy. I don't know, it's 375, like 5 reps, which is incredible if guys know about lifting weights. So when I turned 59, I didn't want to do this anymore. So what happened was I started getting tired again. I wasn't feeling ambitious, motivated. So I went and I got a blood exam. So my blood exam results came back at my testosterone level was 81. So for those of you out there, 81 is like terrible. You're a prime candidate for testosterone replacement therapy. So the range that a man should be at, he should be between 300 and 450. If you're in that range, you're good. Everything's fine. If you're below 300, which mine was 81, you gotta talk to somebody. You gotta talk to a doctor. With that said, I went to a doctor. Obviously, when you go to a conventional doctor, they're gonna put you on testosterone replacement therapy for the rest of your life, and that's something that I didn't want to do. I don't want to go to a doctor's office twice a month. I don't want to take injections twice a week, which they give you microdosing. The side effects to it, I don't want to deal with the side effects. It could be an enlarged prostate. It could be a stroke. It could be a heart attack, all the different things. But at the same time, you need testosterone. A man cannot function without testosterone for so many reasons. And the first reason is not to build muscle, is mental health. Without testosterone, you don't have mental health. So, and without your hormones being balanced, you're going to have issues. So, talking with my wife, I said I don't want to do testosterone replacement therapy. So I said I'm gonna do this on my own. I'm gonna figure it out, and that's what I did. I studied. I did many hours of research. I was up all hours of the night. And I finally found myself a program that worked for me. When I got my first exam, by the way, both exams are in the book, in my book. So, people out there, if you buy my book, you'll see the 2 exams. So in 2021, my results were 81 test level. 8 months later, I went back. I got a full exam. I don't know, it took like 60, 70 tests. My testosterone level went from 81 to 648, which is unbelievable. I was in a holistic doctor, which, they don't prescribe, drugs to you. They want you to self-heal, holistic healing, which I believe in self-healing. So I was going to jump for joy in there. 648 from 81. So that what motivated me to write my book. I wanted to keep it positive to those guys out there that are thinking about TRT. I'm not against it. If that's the way you want to, go and live your life, I'm not against it. But if you like to go on my program, you're curious to see how I did it, there's 7 simple steps to generate and produce testosterone.
Okay. So Christopher, you said that when you were starting and you did the injections that your friend told you about, and you started taking it, you saw that you were performing better, your mental health was better, you were performing better at the gym and in other aspects of your life. When you stopped the testosterone injection, that's when it fell, the level fell? Okay, and that's when you decided to go to the doctor.
Great question, because I want to add to that. Great question. I'm glad you asked that. Because once you stop injecting testosterone, your body doesn't produce it anymore. The production shuts down because the body says, oh, I'm used to getting synthetic testosterone. The body doesn't understand. See, the body will always, it's the best medicine is your body. It can heal yourself, your body. Your body knows. But once you're injecting and you get off of it, the body doesn't produce testosterone. It just shuts down completely. And that's where the problem lies, when your testosterone production shuts down. Good question, Ron.
Okay.
Good question.
So what are some of the consequences of low testosterone?
Low testosterone. You feel tired, fatigued, you have no libido, you're moody, you have a lot of mood swings, you just don't feel good, your exercise performance in the gym is not good. You start to lose all your muscle mass, you start to lose it, and it just doesn't feel right. You just don't feel good. I sit in a lot of meetings, and I talk to a lot of different men, not about this, about my construction business also. And I know when I'm talking to another man, or even your neighbor, I know when their hormones aren't balanced. It's not that they're not a nice person, your hormones. I'm 64 years old. I'm going to be 64 in October.
Okay.
I right now, I have a body of a 30-year-old. I have a 6-pack. I'm ripped. Pictures are going to be uploaded in the next couple of weeks. I know people, they go on my page. They want to see what I look like. I don't take any performance enhancing drugs. I use food as my performance enhancing drugs, which we can talk about later. But yeah, that was a good question that you brought that up. Thank you, Cleanne.
You're welcome. So, Christopher, you said that self-healing is the most powerful medicine. How does one go about doing that? How do they go about self-healing themselves?
Well, self-healing yourself. When you have inner peace, you're going to self-heal yourself when you have inner peace. Okay? When you have self-love, you're also going to self-heal. So those are the two. That's the beginning of self-healing yourself. Once you have that, then eating healthy foods, exercising regularly. You don't have to go to a gym. You can do it in your garage. You can do it in your one of your rooms of your house. But exercising at least 30 minutes a day or 45 minutes a day for 5 days a week. So those are the ways to self-heal. What you do is you allow food to do the healing. Your body will do the rest. All the receptors in your body, they all will connect immediately. Whether it's vitamin D, vitamin C, all the right foods, even supplements to take, your body will self-heal on its own.
So would you say, Christopher, that self-healing starts with self-love? You need to love yourself first in order for that process to start.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Once you establish self-love, then everything else in life is like beautiful. I mean, you become a better father, a better brother, sister, whatever it is. You just become a better man. Once you self-love, because you can't love anyone else unless you love yourself first,
That's
and
true.
that's where it all starts. So
Mhm.
loving yourself is the number one. You got to love yourself in order to self-heal.
Okay. So in your book, Christopher, you talked about the 7 simple and most powerful methods of how you increase your testosterone levels naturally. Can you
Yes.
share maybe 1 or 2 with the listeners, or can you share all 7? It's all up to
Well,
you.
well, I like people to buy my book, but obviously, yeah, I'm here to inform people that I'll give you 2, maybe 3. So the first thing is sleep. If you're not getting the proper amount of sleep, you see, this is more I'm going to give you more detail.
Mhm.
Sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, it raises cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that's triggered by stress.
Mhm.
So what happens is that when you don't get enough sleep, your cortisol goes up. Now, cortisol is a hormone that blocks testosterone, which is very important what I'm going to talk about here. Cortisol blocks testosterone production. So if you get enough sleep, now your cortisol levels drop, and now your testosterone levels bypass. So now your body's producing testosterone because you brought the cortisol down. So if you're having a stressful life, you got to try your best to eliminate stress. Stress is the trigger to raise cortisol. Cortisol is the blocker to testosterone. So that's one of the things is sleep. So I recommend to any man to raise your testosterone level. I recommend between 7 and 9 hours a night. Okay, if you get 7, you're okay. 6 is not good. So besides that, sleep has the man's testicles. When you sleep a lot, you get a burst of testosterone from your testicles that go to your brain, to your receptors, because you got good sleep. So that one of the things I talk about in the book is sleep. You got to get enough sleep to begin your journey.
Oh, okay. What is that's just one of them you talked about. You said,
Okay, yeah. Okay, so want me to keep going
yeah,
for now?
yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Mhm.
Okay, so sleep is number one. Number 2 would be sunlight. When you get natural sunlight from the sun. Now I live in Clearwater, Florida. It's sunny here 6 days a week. So I don't have a problem. I walk my dog 15 minutes a day. I walk him 4 or 5 times a day. So I'm getting a sufficient amount of natural vitamin D. So vitamin D plays a big role in increasing testosterone. It's probably number 1 on the list to increase testosterone is vitamin D. Now, you could take supplements, vitamin D supplements, but there's nothing more powerful than natural sunlight. So if you can get into the sun, if you wear a tank top, expose, your body a little bit more, not only your face or your legs or your stomach. Try to expose, most of your body with a tank top if you can. If you live in Florida or California, I would recommend that you get natural vitamin D. If not, take supplements. You can find out, through your doctor, what a good amount of vitamin D would be for you. So those are the 2 items that I mentioned in the book. The other item would be supplement. Now, testosterone is a big business. You everywhere you look, you're like, oh, buy these supplements or buy these supplements. I'm going to tell you, audience, 90% of them don't work. I've tried them all. I'm like a Billy Goat. I tried everything. Didn't work. This doesn't work. I didn't feel right. I found the right supplements that do work and did work because it's in my book. The test 648 testosterone level result because I was on these supplements also, and I'll share 2 of them. One of them is Tonkat Ali. Tonkat Ali is the natural plant. It's all plant-based. So
Does it,
there's no.
first of all, does it have another name, or that's just the name of it?
No, they call it long jack. There's another
Oh,
name. Yeah,
okay.
it's called long jack too. But I use Tonkat Ali.
Mhm.
Tonkat Ali, it's like I said, it's a plant-based, root extract. So I do take Tonkat Ali. I take it 5 days a week, 2 days off, 5 days on.
Mhm.
Okay, that's one of the supplements. And the other supplement that actually goes well together with Tonkat Ali is Fandogia.
Mhm.
Fandogia agrestis is also, from India,
Mhm.
natural plant. These supplements been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, so, this is not something new. So Tonkat Ali and Fandogia agrestis are the two supplements that I have taken. Now, besides the supplements, uh, I like to talk about food. So food. First, you got to stop the food that you've been eating because the food, uh, sugar. Well, let's start with sugar. If you're consuming a lot of sugar, it raises your insulin level. So when you eat sugar, your insulin level goes up and your estrogen goes up. A man has estrogen, just like women. We have estrogen. Now, I talked about a cortisol blocker to testosterone earlier. When insulin goes up, estrogen goes up. Now you got two enemies that fight against production of testosterone. So sugar would be the first food to eliminate from your diet, from your daily regimen. Eliminate sugar. Actually, sugar is no good for you anyway. It raises your blood pressure. It's no good for your heart. You can get strokes from sugar. Sugar is not good, And I know people love sugar. They put it in their coffee. They eat cake, cookies. I get it, you know. But at some point in your life, if you want to be healthy and you want to live a healthy life, sugar raises insulin. Sugar raises estrogen. Those are two key blockers for testosterone. So A, eliminate sugar from your diet. Second are trans fat foods. Trans fat foods such as fried chicken, French fries, uh, anything to do with like oil, like Mazola oil or Western oil, all those oils. Trans fat is not good for your hormones. So that'll also prevent production of testosterone or trans fat foods. So I would get off sugar first and then stop with the trans fat foods and get on a healthier diet. Let me share something with you. There's a doctor, he's an open heart surgeon.
Mhm.
Every one of his uh, clients, right before heart surgery, they ask him why. Why am I here? Why me?
Mhm.
And Philip says, because you didn't eat real food. If you if you eat real food, you wouldn't be getting heart surgery. Now, real foods. Real foods is fruits and vegetables. We all know about grass-fed meat, not meat with hormones, because that'll also louse up your hormones. You can't eat that kind of meat. All those drugs that they inject into the meat, I, I don't eat. I eat grass-fed meat though. Grass-fed meat is very healthy for you. It produces testosterone. It's high in zinc. Zinc is another supplement which I have naturally through meat and eggs. I get my zinc. Zinc produces testosterone, and one of the better foods that increase testosterone is raw oyster. It's number one on the list besides meat to increase testosterone. I have oysters every Friday. I eat either 18 or 24 oysters, and I know that I'm putting zinc into my body, which will increase my testosterone.
Yeah, but
So,
Christopher, isn't oysters high in fat?
no, the oysters are good fat. There's good fat and there's bad fat. Oysters is good fat, just like avocado. Avocados, they're good fats, okay? They're not bad fats. Bad fats is when you go to McDonald's or you're cooking fried food in your house. You go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now you're not doing right by yourself. And by the way, depending on the food that you eat, it depends. That'll reflect on the mood that you're in. When you eat healthy, you're in a good mood. You ate healthy. So, we have a choice in life. The choice is grow old gracefully or grow old grumpy. So I don't want to be a grumpy old man. I want to be healthy. I have the insides of a 20-year-old. All my blood exams, my blood pressure is like a 20-year-old man. And I'm going to be 64. I told you, the outside of my body, I have a 30-year-old body. I'm in shape. I have a six-pack. I'm not going to let my age dictate, sit on the couch with a recliner. That's not Chris. Chris doesn't do that. Chris don't go to a doctor twice a month. I have no plans of going to the doctors and sitting in an office. I did that with my father. God rest his soul. I was in the doctor's office with my father 2-3 days a week. Heart doctor, kidney doctor, all kinds of doctors. I don't want that kind of life for myself. And I don't want that kind of life for you people listening. You have a choice in life. So the choice would be for, anybody, common sense. You want to be healthy. You don't want to go to the doctor all the time. You don't want to have high blood pressure. No. So getting onto foods, eggs, people say, oh, don't eat so many eggs. Not true. Eat all the eggs you want. Eggs is good cholesterol. It's not going to harm you in any way. Stay on eggs, high in omega-3. Omega-3 is great for increasing testosterone. Eggs is fabulous. Nuts, Brazilian nuts, macadamia nuts, pumpkin seeds, great for increasing zinc in your body. That increases testosterone. Pumpkin. I make a shake, and in the shake, I put macadamia nuts, protein powder, pumpkin seeds. I drink all my nuts rather than chewing them. I drink them all, and that's part of my daily regimen. Is a protein drink with all these supplements.
So Christopher, you're saying that we should lean more towards a whole foods diet, whole grain, with low fat and no sugar in there. That's what you're saying.
100%. If you can eat organic, organic vegetables, or organic, fruits, because listen, my generation is different than the generation today. They got, there's a lot more people in this world today. So spraying the vegetables and fruit with pesticides, I get it. If you can't afford organic fruits and vegetables, try to, supplement a couple of days a week. You have organic, and the others you don't. Me, I'm 100% organic. I don't need any pesticides. If I know something has pesticides in it, I'm hands off. I don't go near it. So that's the way I choose to live my life.
So you do have your own garden? You grow your own foods? Or?
No, I shop at Whole Foods. Whole Foods. It's owned by the Amazon guy, Jeff Bezos. 99% of their food is all organic or grass-fed meat. So I shop at that supermarket. I know what I'm buying. I know how healthy I feel. My body will tell me automatically that something wasn't right. As soon as I eat, that's how quick my body responds. And then I know, okay, I won't buy this anymore because I didn't feel right. My body tells me immediately that something ain't right. So, and that's what will happen with anybody. Once you're on a healthy regimen, your body will talk to you, and body will say, this is not good. Don't buy that no.
So where can the listeners find a copy of your book, Christopher?
You can find a copy of my book at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and on my website. My website is fitforjoy.org/selfhealingwithchris. Let me repeat that. It's fitforjoy.org/selfhealingwithchris. On my webpage, you'll see everything that I'm doing to benefit my life and also to benefit yours.
So what last words of encouragement would you advise men with this issue of low testosterone?
Okay, so I recommend that every man exercise. Let's go with exercise. Exercise is great. You don't have to exercise, like I said, you don't have to exercise 2 hours a day. If you get 30 minutes in, 45 minutes, maximum an hour. You don't need more than an hour. Okay. Me, when in my younger days, I was in the gym for 3 hours. I was doing things that I never can imagine that I did. And you know what? I beat up the body. I wasn't benefiting me. I was beating up my body. Now I do an hour, maybe an hour and 5 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, depending on how I feel. I'm in the gym. I feel great. I don't beat up the body. I'm not sore. So to answer your question, gentlemen, exercise. Exercise increases mental health, dopamines, which makes you happy, increases your mood. You're in a better mood. You come home, you're a happier man. You're happy with your family. Even if you're having a bad day, exercise. If you can get that exercise in, eat healthy, do the right thing, love yourself. Who's going to love you more than you love yourself? No one. No one's going to love you. You got to love yourself. So, those are the key elements to get on the right regimen in life to grow old gracefully, like I mentioned earlier.
Would you also advise them to go see their doctor if they have low testosterone levels? Or?
Absolutely. I would go see, personally, again, I'm not against conventional medicine, but you have a choice, and that choice is up to you. You go to a holistic doctor, which I did, or you go to a conventional doctor. I went to both. Conventional doctor, right away, wanted to put me on injection. Holistic doctor, no. Holistic doctor never recommended TRT. Holistic doctor recommended other things, which I talked about just now. So, yeah, if you have low testosterone, you have to go see a doctor. Okay, I'm not against TRT. I'm not against it because some men can't produce testosterone naturally. Some guys can't. But it doesn't hurt to try to do it naturally. It doesn't hurt because if I succeeded, I don't see why not another man can't succeed. So, our bodies are different. That I get it. But, at the same time, our bodies are the same. Good question, by the way. I like your questions.
So, Christopher, what's the name of your book? And could you hold it up so that
yes,
the viewers can see on?
Here's my book.
Okay. It's called How I Naturally, go ahead.
How I Naturally Increase My Testosterone with 7 Simple and Powerful Methods. Okay. All the steps are in the book. The 2 tests that I took, one level was 81. 8 months later, it was 648, which is fantastic for a 64-year-old man, by the way, so you know. Okay, so here's my book.
Okay, sounds excellent. Great. Okay, Chris.
Thank you. Okay.
So do you have any resources that the listeners can get on your website?
Absolutely. I could refer anybody. I could coach anybody. I'm also a motivational speaker. I'm a coach. If they want me to coach them, I'll coach. Listen, I'm probably one of the, and here's my self-love, probably one of the best coaches that will ever talk to me because I'm real, 100% real. I don't play no games with life, with people. I'm not a game player. So whatever I, can help is because it's all because of self-love.
Okay, Christopher. Well, it was great to have you on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope your audience, gets a feel for what I'm saying.